Have you ever dated someone you worked with?
What? These are real stories.
All right, twofold here, Doug. Does that mean that Republicans seem to be defending the actual substance of the phone call? As you mentioned, today is the first time we will really be hearing from someone who has firsthand knowledge of that call. They fired the first shot 2 seconds after they arrived. That's not enough time, as they said in the statement, which was presented to the grand jury, Charlie, to tell this 12-year-old boy, put your hands up, put the weapon down. Thousands of Hurricane Irma victims in South Florida left empty-handed. More than 24 people are dead. Another 20 are injured. Polls open up this morning at 7 o'clock for voters to cast their ballots. And I was literally getting ready to tweet you, great job, which still great job. But then the end that we saw, and I think it took me 3 or 4 days to stop crying and to pull my face up off the floor. Check this out. This is the very latest. We brought this to you actually in our 7 o'clock hour, looking at the video now on Sky Fox. But this chase was unbelievable as the driver blared through traffic, ignoring signs. You see him missing vehicles there. We would notice here in the newsroom that there were no more cars on the road. And then we would see a police car off in the distance. They are figuring out where this driver is going, and they would head him off at one intersection and then the next one and then the next one. There hadn't been explosions for at least an hour and a half. There were propane tanks inside, pallets inside. I want to talk about moving forward. My question again, because no one's answered it. What does Pastor Mo, I'm not talking about his family, let me speak. What does Pastor Mo have to say or do to end the threats against his church, against his life, and against his family? Why not you, being friends and understanding this man's heart and where he's been, why not you put the call out for this to stop? I'm just asking. We are seeing pictures here in the ground. You think about the fact that this is someone's life now just completely destroyed.
He took off running.
And he was going to rape her in broad daylight in front of her baby?
Exactly.
Leave.
It's a gas station. Did you guys have illegal drugs? Here we are on the red carpet. I think we found our next Motown sensation, Motown White Chocolate. Do I look pretty?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
How pretty.
Okay.
Look at that. Feels good.
Yeah.
You look ridiculous when you do it. You feel like you're on cloud 9.
But we did it.
Nailed it.
All right, coming up.
Expert.
How many times do you say chugga before you say chew?
Chugga, chugga.
Hey,
I changed my mind on this one.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
If Vinberg tripped in that fire,
back.
you know?
Yeah, right.
We're told the 911 call came in. 7 employees were working overnight. It started as a small warehouse fire. Obviously, it's grown to be much more. Now the crews are switching, but Detroit and Highland Park firefighters will be here again for the next 2 days, putting out hotspot fires. They have no idea when this is going to be even under control. We have seen flames literally all morning. Usually in a situation like this, you see the smoke. It starts to turn white. Everything that was white still had an orange glow. So still a very active situation here. Again, we are on LaBelle and Hamilton in Highland Park near the lodge. We are hearing about traffic slowing in the area as well. So take all of that into account as you head to work this morning. Live in Highland Park, I'm Marielle Liu, Fox 2 News. There's nobody here, but you know who showed up? The Lou crew. They're already here. They're strong this morning. Everyone so excited about opening day. This is going to be an awesome night as they chant Lou crew. Let me talk to somebody. Robert, this is Robert. Robert, what time did you get here this morning?
I got here about 5:50 this morning.
5:50? What about the weather?
Doesn't matter. I'm here to warm the hearts of Detroit and let people know that I'm all about the Lou crew and I'm all about the Tiger.
There will come a time where these streets are so thick with people you won't even be able to get through. This is where all the action will be, and we'll be here for it all. I'll toss it back to you guys in studio live in front of Comerica Park for opening day. I'm Marielle Liu, Fox 2 News.
Marielle, turn back around. We want to see the Lou crew. We don't need to see the street.
We are so impressed by the Lou crew.
I had a great conversation with Pastor John Gray. We spoke about changing the way that we worship, because that's really what many people have had to do during this coronavirus pandemic. And he also talked about how to keep the faith.
I believe this is a virus that was sent to remind us how fragile life is, of how important it is to maximize every moment. I think that's what faith is for. Faith is not for the good times. Faith is for the times that make no sense.
Pastor John Gray, one of the most prolific preachers of our time, head pastor of Relentless Church in South Carolina. His one-of-a-kind, down-to-earth delivery garnered him a global following in the millions. Every Sunday, the online community tuned in from the States to Europe and beyond. Most have never even seen the pastor in person, but they are loyal. That's why when the pandemic forced the doors of his church to close, Relentless thrived.
How has taking your service online completely changed things for you?
Oh man, we're more creative. I get to be more free. I get to have conversations. I'm more conversational in my approach.
Sometimes I find myself praying, and then you realize you're praying about the same thing. And if you're supposed to give it to God, how many times are you supposed? I mean, you just wonder if you're doing it right.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. The beautiful thing about a relationship with God is there's a scripture that says we cry out with a spirit of adoption, Abba, Father, which literally means Daddy God. And so this idea of the far off God that I can't connect to is juxtaposed with the father relationship, the daddy son or the daddy daughter relationship, where I can be vulnerable, where I can ask the same question 50 times like my son does every day. It's okay to not be okay.
It was a great, open and honest conversation. If I could have laid down on the couch and, started with, it all started when I was 9, I would have loved to get his advice on just so many things, because he is so positive and he does say things in a way that it really catches, I think, the average person.
That's why I take your right there on that damn porch, excuse my French, but you keep yourself on this porch. You was a kid, you're not an adult.
There you go. 7 in Westphalia, southbound Black Shorts, no shirt. Right behind the fence.
About 3 or 4 houses out north of Warren, east side of Bishop. Wooden privacy fence. You'll hear dog barking.
Welcome to Detroit, America's toughest city, home to America's toughest people. Parts of the city are on the brink of a comeback, but other parts seem to be on the brink of something else. And those are the parts patrolled by Detroit's toughest cops. These aren't your typical beat cops. They don't patrol, they target. Their mission? Guns. Getting them off the streets so you can be safe. True. TRU, the city's tactical response unit. It's a citywide precinct support team deployed based on intel from the crime unit. That means if there's trouble on the east side, then that's where they'll be. But tomorrow it could be west or southwest. Sometimes it's all of the above.
All right, attention roll call.
The roll call is short and sweet. Then we hit the streets. In almost no time, we're making major stops. It's been pretty warm this year, and apparently it's the perfect weather for riding dirty.
That vehicle that the officer stopped was not, in fact, a stolen vehicle. So they're okay.
That's Sergeant Jackson, Action Jackson in the streets, handpicked by Chief Craig to build True from the ground up. He's not interested in small fish, he's looking for guns. These kids don't have any, so he throws them back.
All right, have a good one.
Action is the heartbeat of this unit. He turned down a job as captain to make True what it is today. Working with him is the opportunity any young cop would want. To them, he's a legend, a hotshot since the 80s and rumored to have gotten 1,000 guns off the street. He's more than just the man, he's a mentor. His stats serve as life goals to these young guns. Guys like Pete. They call him Streak because he got in a foot chase his first 10 minutes in the unit, and he's been running ever since.
Oh, turned around, sit. There you go. 7 in Westphalia, southbound Black Shorts, no shirt.
Right behind the fence.
Suspicious activity at a gas station. Streak makes eye contact with a kid standing near the door. The kid makes a run for it, and true to his name, Pete is fast as lightning, jumping out the car, and he's on the move. We don't know who he's chasing, why he ran, or what danger Streak is running into, but that's the job. He scales a fence and tackles the suspect, a teenage boy.
Yeah, we got a kid in the alley. South of Westphalia. Just south of Summer. Why'd you run?
That's in the yard.
Did you do anything wrong? No. So you ran because you saw us? Yes. What do you think we're gonna do to you?
Nothing his mother won't do better.
You got handcuffed like you have. You see everybody looking? You see the camera? This should be embarrassed for you. I ain't got a record, but you sitting there running.
This is Kenyana Alford, a single mother of 9. She's got her hands full. You can tell she runs a tight ship, but her oldest son, he's growing up too fast.
That's exactly what I've been trying to tell you. You're 14 years old. You need to act like a kid. You lucky them kids came and got me because I wouldn't came out here. I didn't know what you did.
He's all yours, Mama.
Yeah, and I got a surprise for you. You put that on camera, I got a surprise for him. Well, I don't play them kind of games with my kids. So he got to step up and be a better role model for his siblings.
Action gives the kid his personal cell phone number, reminding him he has a friend in DPD. And now it's back to the streets.
I've become like 10 times the cop I was when I came here. Guys we work with are amazing. They've taught me to see things that I saw and didn't recognize as cues to someone carrying a gun or cues to someone, selling dope.
Streak joined the unit back in April. He says he's learned more in the last few months than he could in 10 years anywhere else. He's competitive, aiming to get 150 guns off the street in his first year. That's 4 more than the unit's record.
I'm a lifer. I've had offers from other cities, people I know, or, hey, you should really come over, It's just like, I don't think I could police in another city. It's so different. You go from looking for guns, looking for traffic infractions. Hey. I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Oh, me. How old are they?
11.
3 months. 3 months? I got a 3 month at home. It's a shepherd though.
Respect. That's what Detroit's all about, and these guys get that. That's why they're so valuable.
A lot of those guys are leaving, or have left, rather, for just better pay, pension, retirement. The pay is a factor, but you love what you do, you're not really concerned about the pay. Don't get me wrong, I got kids in college and I got bills like everybody else, so would I like a raise? Heck yeah, I'd love a raise, but I mean, we signed up for it and we just deal with it. Hopefully there'll be a nice pay raise down the horizon.
This conversation will have to wait. On a dime, everything changes. So pay attention. Things move pretty fast from here. Streak makes eye contact with the guy on a street corner. His body language says it all.
Yep, there it is. I told you, brother. Bishop. Morning, Bishop.
Streak jumps out of the car again, scaling another fence, but this time it's different. There's no easy way to get to him. He's on his own. Action uses the speed of the car and the force of the turn to slam the passenger door shut. But this is no movie. There's an officer out there alone.
Hey, Warren Bishop, 1 CCW.
Right now, he's not Streak, he's Pete. And it's on Action to make sure Pete comes home tonight.
Somebody run through here? You know what they, Pete?
No answer.
Hey, Pete.
The radio silence is deafening. The look on Action's face says it all. He's getting nervous. Streak is alone with an armed suspect, and now he's not responding.
CCW person on foot.
Same you wear?
By now, more guys from the unit are on the scene. They're all looking for Pete and the suspect he was chasing.
Hey, Pete, where you at?
There's someone in custody, but it's not the guy we're looking for. Still no word from Pete. Pete, where are you?
True 7-0 prep. I got the perfect custody, weapon recovered.
We got him.
Oh, thank God. We got a glimpse of Pete in the backyard, 4 houses down from where he started. He has the suspect in custody, but something just doesn't feel right.
Yo, Pete!
Yeah, true 7-0. True 7-0. Yeah, one in custody. Hey, you just watch your prep.
Pete and the suspect are safe, but a dog protecting his property, doing what dogs do, charged at the officer and the suspect. Police had no choice but to put him down, all because some kid with a gun picked that house as his hiding spot.
We just had to take down a dog in the rear.
It's good to see Pete. He's all right. Just a dog bite and a few bruises that'll have to be checked out later, but he'll be okay. This is what it takes to get a single gun off the streets of Detroit.
Yes.
Damn camera out of my face.
I am so sorry. Because your dog was doing his job.
Policing is not just about getting the bad guy. It's about being the good guy, which in this case means manning up and explaining to this woman why her dog was killed. It's not an easy conversation.
We're all pet owners. We don't want to hurt somebody's dog.
It's not easy for Streak either. The dog that was shot looks exactly like his German Shepherd, Yuda.
Had my handcuffs. The only way out was through the driveway. Started walking the driveway. One of the dogs healed back again, showed his teeth, started biting my prisoner, and then actually bit my leg, ripping my pants. I had to fire some shots.
Another day, another gun off the streets. It's a tough job. The battle for pensions and benefits continues. The pay is low and the turnover is high. In the last few months, True alone has lost guys to Seattle, Houston, Dearborn, and Sterling Heights. But there are a few who have their reasons to stay.
If it wasn't for action, I wouldn't be here. I would have left. Probably I would have left the unit a long time ago. He's like a legend to us. He's our like our role model, almost like a father figure. We look up to him.
This is some real stuff. You're working in this ain't Dearborn anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore.
Reporting in Detroit, I'm Marielle Liu, Fox 2 News.